Good evening, fellow scholars. My name is Andrew Sperl, and today I'll be sharing with you my slideshow on empirical rule. An empirical rule was actually created by a Russian by the name of Pafnutij Shabasab. I can't even say his name. He was the creator of empirical rule. This inequality is named after the Russian mathematician Pafnutij Shabasab, who first stated the inequality without proof in 1874. 10 years later, the inequality was proved by Markov in his PhD assertion due to variances in how to represent the Russian alphabet in English. It is Shabasab, who is spelled as Tuftish. He is responsible for the 68, 95, 99.7 rule. In statistics, the so-called 68, 95, 99.7 rule is a shorthand used to remember the percentage of values that lie within a band around the mean and the normal distribution, with a width of 1 or 2 and 3 standard deviations, respectively, more accurately, 68.27%, 95.45%, and 99.73% of the values lie within 1, 2, or 3 standard deviations of the mean, respectively. In 1874, Shabasab promoted his thesis Provena Legendi on integration with the health of logarithms at St. Petersburg University, made the empirical rule. What is an empirical rule, you might ask? Empirical rule is used to give us an approximation of the numbers that lie within 1, 2, or 3 standard deviations away from the means, such as here it shows on this graph. 68% of the distribution lies within 1 deviation from the mean, which is this part here. 95% of the distribution lies within 2 deviations of the mean, which is these parts here. And then 99.7% of the distribution lies within the 3 deviations of the mean, which is the ending part of it. Now, there are different empirical research methods. The first one is known as Six Sigma. Why the name Six Sigma? The word is a statistical term that measures how far a given process deviates from perfection. The central idea behind Six Sigma is that you can measure how many defects you have in a process. You can systematically figure out how to eliminate them and get as close as to 0 defects as possible. To achieve Six Sigma quality, the process must produce no more than 3.4 defects per million opportunities. The 3.4 defects per million opportunities is a gross confusion of the following situation. And these are the different empirical research methods to come across. Empirical research method first starts with the descriptive research method, which describes the phenomenon, the events, and the situation, which you get through quantitative study, which is through survey, correlational studies, and meta-analysis, which is all of these here. And that goes down to quantitative study, which is your case study, your ethnography, and your phenomenology. And then it goes down to your experimental research, which identifies a cause-effect, relationship, and the quantitative. And what that is from is laboratory experiments, field experiments, and simulation benchmarks. Now, interpreting the empirical rule. Interpretation for the empirical rule for distribution with the bell-shaped histogram states that approximately 68% of all observations fall within 1 standard deviation of the mean. Approximately 95% of observations fall within 2 standard deviations of the mean. And approximately 99.7% of all observations fall within 3 standard deviations of the mean, aka the 68, 95, 99% rule for the empirical rule. Now, empirical probabilities. If we take a survey of a student of the different countries we have to find the probability of students who like mathematicians, we found in India that 40 students are interested in the USA. And this is a mathematical problem that I'm giving you guys to try to solve. And in Spain, there are 32 students that are interested. Now, we need to find the empirical probability of the students interested in the mathematics from the USA. For finding this probability, we need to sum up all the numbers of the students from the countries, and we will get, okay, here, 40 plus 42 plus 37 plus 32 equals 151. Now we will put all the things in a formula to get the value of the empirical probability. As we know, the number of students in the USA is 42. The prior probability is 42 over 151, 42 over 151, which empirical reading would be 0.278%. In this way, we can find the empirical probability of the events. Now here's one more problem for you guys. A survey in a class of 60 students is conducted to select a breed of dog of their choice, and the following outcomes are figured. Okay, you have here your dogs and your number of students. Boxer, 35 students. Spaniel, 15 students. Others, 10 students. Then the empirical probability of choosing the boxer dog would be 35 over 60. 35 is the number of students who have shown the choice of the boxer dog, and 60 is the total strength of the class. I hope you all enjoyed my slideshow for tonight, and I hope you all have a wonderful day and have a wonderful weekend.